Good evening, everyone, and happy Labor Day weekend. It is Friday, August 30th, and ever since I posted that video where we had 7 inches of rain in 3 or 4 days and it ruined all of my ripening figs, we have just been blessed with awesome, incredible, rainless weather and beautiful, wonderful skies. The humidity has died down a little bit as we transition into fall, but we're still getting temps in the mid to upper 80s. So it's been really nice. It's been really sunny. It's still been warm, but it hasn't been miserable and humid. And I have a lot of figs ripening. And I want to take you through the orchard a little bit and show you. This is my Col de Dame Noir tree right here. This is one of them. I have not yet gotten a ripe fig off this tree yet, but that is about to change. And I have a fig right here that looks absolutely beautiful. You can see the nice cracking in there. Look at that. All right, I was able to get the organza bag off, and just look at that. Look at that cracking. That looks like something that was ripened in California. It's dried up, it's cracking. That does not look like a North Carolina fig. And look how nice and tight the eye still is. So I'm going to pop this off. And that right there is one beautiful looking fig. Wow. Now let's go through the orchard and see if I can find any other figs of this quality. This is my Marseilles Black VS tree, and I have a number of figs that are starting to ripen on it all at once. This is a Mount Etna type, and it is supposed to be very similar to a Chicago Hardy. They're seemingly wanting to ripen all at the same time, which is great. I wouldn't mind a nice big bolus of figs, but I think I'm going to be able to harvest a few of these right now as well. All right, we have one right here that looks pretty nice that I'm going to be able to pop right off. That's a pretty nice looking fig, and I also have one that fell off that was starting to shrivel up. It fell off as soon as I took the bag off. So this looks pretty nice. The rest of these, I am going to go ahead and let them sit on here for a few more days. I think the 2 towards the bottom I'll be able to pick tomorrow, but this will be a nice little comparison between the Marseilles Black VS and the Col de Dame Noir. Then we have the Bordissot Blanca Negra, and I just had my first one off this tree yesterday, and it was absolutely fantastic. It knocked my socks off. This is one of the most beautiful figs I've ever seen. I'm going to pop this one off as well. Look at the nice cracking. You can see it's pretty similar to a Col de Dame Noir. The Col de Dame Noir is definitely a lot riper, but just a beautiful fig all around. Then over here on my other Col de Dame Noir tree, I have a fig that's starting to droop. This one is ready to be picked. A couple more are starting to swell on this tree. This is the tree that had 2 ripe figs that exploded on me in the rain and spoiled. That was a real shame. My father's coming over tomorrow, so I'm going to save that fig for him. I have several Latarula Italian honeys that are starting to swell, but they're not ripe. They're not ripened yet. Over here I have a Smith that is swelling, but that's not ripened yet. I have 2 San Miguel Roxo / Azores Darks that are ripening, and an Italian 258 that's ripening. This one's not quite ready yet. That needs another day or 2. A few more starting to ripen in there. So I think this will be a pretty good taste test down here. These 3 figs. We'll take these inside and cut these open. All right, now we get to do a little weigh-in. This is the gorgeous Bordissot Blanca Negra. And that one weighs in at 35 grams. This one probably could have gone another day. We have the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Col de Dame Noir. 28 grams. This feels like a bag of jelly already. And then we have the 2 Marseilles Black MBVSs. And this is a Chicago Hardy type. So they should be very tiny. 12 grams. And 15 grams. So these are a little bit larger than my Chicago Hardys were, and hopefully they taste a little better because mine were a little bland their first year. So let's cut them open and see what they look like. All right, let's take them apart one by one. This is the Marseilles Black MBVS. That's a good sign when it sticks to your knife. A really nice dark red berry color. we will cut open the other one, which is a little riper. This is the same dark red berry color. The Col de Dame Noir, which I just can't wait to see what this one looks like. It's so jelly-like it's hard to cut. Ooh. That looks very nice right there. And finally, the Bordissot Blanca Negra. And despite maybe needing one more day, that looks like a winner right there. Wow, just look at this. This is just absolutely beautiful. I want to get in just a little bit closer. The first four are the Marseilles Black VS, often called MBVS, and then the next two are the Col de Dame Noir. That's these two right here. And then the two on the end is the Bordissot Blanca Negra. And they are all just so incredibly beautiful. I almost don't want to eat them. Just kidding. I definitely want to eat all of these. So we will start with the less than ripe MBVS, Marseilles Black VS. And that tastes very similar to a Chicago Hardy. It is like a light berry flavor. It's very refreshing. This is a little bit bigger than my Chicago Hardys, so I would say they taste a little bit better because there's more to bite. That is very good. It's almost like a blueberry jam, but it isn't very intense. The intensity is lighter. So I will see if the other Marseilles Black VS that is a little more ripe has a little bit more intensity. Oh, and this one does. This is by far the best Mount Etna type I've had to date. This tastes just like a blueberry, but thicker and richer. This one is really good. So I have three Mount Etna types: Chicago Hardy, Marseilles Black VS, and the San Miguel Roxo, which is sometimes called Azores Dark. And that Marseilles Black that I just had was the best out of the three. They're all very similar, but that was great. Now I can't wait to try the Col de Dame Noir. I have been so excited to try this fig. This is the first ever Col de Dame that I'm having. Really good. It's actually very similar to the Marseilles Black that I had, but just sweeter. If you were to take that Marseilles Black and you were to just add sugar on top of it, it would be this Col de Dame. Delicious. It's thicker, it's jammier, and sweeter. It's very, very good. Oh, wow. That's like one of the Mount Etna types, but on steroids. That is absolutely fantastic. And the last thing I want to try is the Bordissot Blanca Negra, which I already tried yesterday. I'll see how this one measures up to the Col de Dame. It's definitely different. It's not as jammy as the Col de Dame. It is more acidic. Yeah, and it's not quite as thick and intense. This has more bite to it. It's a little fresher. Maybe it's just because it needed another day to ripen, but it's very similar. Yes, it is a less intense, less jammy, but more acidic fig. Go in for one more bite. That is very, very good. It's sweet, it's tangy, it's just very good. I don't know how else to describe it. Those were 3 very, very good figs. I would rank them as the Col de Dame Noir would be my favorite, followed by the Bordissot Blanca Negra, slightly behind it, and then the Marseilles Black VS a little bit behind that. The Col de Dame Noir was my favorite because it was the thickest, the sweetest, and the most intense. But if you could take the Col de Dame Noir and add a little bit of the acid bite of the Bordissot Blanca Negra, you would have the perfect fig. And I really wish that I could have let that Bordissot Blanca Negra ripen for one more day, because if it could have became a little bit more jammy and sweet and still had that acid punch, I think that would have been probably the best fig I've ever had. Combining those two would be absolute perfection. So there is my review of 3 very good figs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for future updates and more videos like these. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again next time.